Hours earlier in his school, Kamito goes to get something from the school store, but some muscular men came and kidnapped him. They tied him up in a car and took him to the Seiken school for girls. There, Kamito gets welcomed by a maid named Kyujo who tells him that she could only use this method to get a hold of him as she didn't want to create a huge scene. Not knowing what is happening, Kamito lashes out and asks her what is happening. Kyujo thinks that his manners are just like a commoner. She takes Kamito with her and introduces herself to her. According to Kyujo, the Seiken School for Girls is a special school that only takes in young girls from rich and high-class families to teach them the traditions and formality of classical Japanese women. The existence of this school has been kept a secret from the society. Kamito will be attending this school from today. All formalities have been taken care of and the school already received permission from his family as well. Kamito is confused hearing all this, but Kyujo doesn't even pay heed to what he is saying. The school is considered a school of modern aristocracy, so boys weren't allowed before in this school. Everyone on the premises is female, students and staff alike. Kyujo takes Kamito to the principal office where the principal Sayuri Kamachi greets him and apologizes if Kyujo was a tad bit harsh with him. Kyujo also apologizes to Kamito but clicks her tongue while doing it. They tell Kamito that after the girls from this school graduate, it's only natural that they go to the outside world, but being in an isolated only female environment for so long, they don't know how to interact with others and are greatly shocked by the differences between the school and the outside world. Usually, the girls become wrecks that couldn't achieve anything outside. So now the school is trying to take care of this situation in the most optimal way, which will maintain the school's tradition and balance in check. Ultimately, it was decided to admit a commoner sample like Kamito into the school. Kamito all naked. He wakes up and puts some clothes on her. He checks his fridge as Hakua is hungry and realizes that he only has potatoes available. He tells her a bunch of potato dishes and they ultimately decide to make some potato cakes. Kamito starts preparing the dish and tells Hakua to make balls out of the dough since she also wants to do something. She tries her best but struggles to make it as good as Kamito. Randomly, she starts taking off her clothes again and proceeds to write some equations on the wall. Kamito puts her back in clothes and reads the dish. Hakua tries the potato cakes and finds them delicious. After they are done eating, Hakua tells Kamito a riddle without knowing what a riddle actually is. Kamito asks her about her favorite things to do when she was in grade school. Hakua proved her Godic hypotheses and made a bunch of robots and sepoos as fun. Surprised by all this, he asks her a riddle and she fails to get it every time, causing her to get cutely angry. Soon Sakamori arrives to get Hakua, but she wants to stay with him. Kamito tells her that she can come by again tomorrow and goes to her house with her to drop her off. There he sees a plushie that looks like him in Hakua's room. Just when he was about to ask about it, Hakua rushes into the room and closes the door. When she does arrive, she looks for Kamito and tries to go away once she realizes that he is not here. Karen closes the door and they all tell her that they should spend some girl time too. Hakua doesn't want to interact with them and quietly reads some manga. She refuses to eat their food too, even when Karen goes to the length of dressing like Kamito. Since Kamito isn't here to give her food, Hakua just eats the food from her schedule. After she takes a bite of her food, Hakua proceeds to write equations on the wall and undresses herself. All of them dress her up and soon she goes to sleep. Sakamori arrives sometime after to pick her up and asks her if Kamito is here. Hakua replies that he isn't, but her friends are. Hearing this puts a smile on everyone's face. Before going, she asks the same riddle to the girls that Kamito asked her. To her surprise, Eika guesses the riddle perfectly. The scene then shifts to Kamito playing a girlfriend simulator game because his friend Eri voice acted as the main girl in this game. As he was saying "I love you" to the girl inside the game, Eika arrives and asks what he is doing. Kamito explains the game to her and tells her that he is only playing the game because her friend Eri is a voice actress in this game. He gives the game over to Eika and tells her to talk with the girl. She plays the game and immediately falls for the girl inside the game. As she was playing, an announcement was made for Kamito to come to the president's office. He goes away and Ryuko comes inside the room right after, as she wanted to read a book. Eika wants her to leave, but Ryuko pays no heed to her and starts reading the manga. She asks Eika why there are only girls on the cover of all of these manga and magazines. Aola doesn't know the reason for it and tells her to take the manga to her own room and leave. Ryuko tells her to come down from the bed and sit properly even if Kamito isn't present. Eika gets angry and wants to leave now, but stops when she hears Ryuko getting happy to spend some time with Kamito. After they are done reading, they see a bottle of cola inside the fridge and both of them want to drink it. Eika doesn't want to share it with Ryuko as she was the one that founded it. She eventually agrees to drink it with her after Ryuko gets all sad. They sit together at the table and try the drink out, only to spit it out on each other's clothes as they are trying out a fizzy drink for the first time. They take off their clothes since they are all wet. Ryuko tries to show Eika how to fold a dress properly but accidentally falls on top of her. Eika calls her breasts filthy and the two of them start fighting again. Kamito arrives in the room right when they start to fight. He misunderstands the situation and immediately goes away. Kamito was summoned to the president's office because of a theme park that was developed in order to allow the ladies to experience the commoner culture themselves. They have named this park Shaman Land and want Kamito to advise the students when they go to that park. The president is happy as Kamito's arrival has created a positive effect on the atmosphere of this school. Everyone takes a plane ride from the school and arrives at the theme park on buses. The girls freak out seeing what the everyday streets and buildings of the outside world look like. They are even excited to walk across the zebra crossing. All of them go to a popular restaurant where Kyujo explains how to order. The girls are surprised to hear that they can't wait at the table and must wait for the food to arrive after giving the order right at the counter. They think that they have been spoiled growing up and feel bad for commoners who are living such a tough life. They agree to stand and wait even if it is 2 hours, but Kyujo tells them that it only takes a minute or two for the food to arrive. Kamito tells Eika to order first as they have practiced about it in his room, but Eika is just too afraid to go first. Ryuko then volunteers and goes to the counter first but gets confused seeing the menu. He approaches Ryuko to help her decide what to order. Soon all the girls have ordered and are sitting at the tables with their food. Eika, like always, is sitting separately from everyone. Kamito takes a bite of the burger and gets mesmerized by how delicious and perfect everything is. He gets up and lashes out at everyone as in real life. The burgers are never this good and the school is making a mockery of the fast food. Elsewhere, Hakua is going to Kamito's room but Sakamori stops her and tells her that he along with the girls is on a trip to Shaman Land. After everyone is done eating, they go to an arcade and get excited seeing all the beautiful plushes and machines. Eika is sitting alone at the dancing game and is waiting for someone to come over. Some girls arrive and ask Kamito to teach them the plushie catching game. Kamito catches a plushie for them and the girls give it a try themselves afterward. In no time, a bunch of girls arrive as all of them want to learn the plushie catching game from Kamito. After they are done with that, they go to the dancing game. Since Eika isn't present, Kamito shows them how to play this game. The girls try to play this game and struggle to dance properly, but Eika jumps in and gives them proper instruction. Soon, all the girls want Eika to teach them this game. Finally, Eika is starting to make friends with her classmates. She continues to impress the girls with her commoner skills in a coffee shop. She teaches them how to order different coffees and also tells them how each coffee tastes. When the coffee arrives, the girls get confused about how to drink the coffee. Eika tries to demonstrate to them but accidentally burns her mouth as the coffee was really hot. While everyone is doing different stuff, Karen is chasing after a dog she finds cute. Kamito asks everyone if they are still using their cell phones. The girls tell him that they only use it in their room after the class, while Eika tells him that she doesn't use it at all. The girls then ask Eika to text her and if it will be alright if they texted her too. While all of them are having fun, Hakua is sitting all sad in her room as Kamito isn't there with her. After the girls have had their fill of eating and drinking, they are taken to a shopping mall so they can see what types of clothes commoners wear. Karen finds a really cute pink shirt and wants to try it out but is too ashamed to admit that she has any interest in this place. She tells Kamito that there is no way for him to prove that she was here. She pulls out her sword to threaten Kamito, but Kamito plays along with the joke and tells her that if he wanted, he could defeat her in a flash. She orders Karen to try out the shirt as she wants to try it out but is too shy. Karen happily goes to the trying room but doesn't want Kamito to see her as she is not confident in herself. Kamito takes one look at her and immediately falls in love with her thighs. She thinks that they are too ungracefully fat, but Kamito showers her with a bunch of compliments. At the room they are staying on their visit, Eika is getting a bunch of messages from everyone. Since Ryuko is in the room with her, Eika finds it weird that the two people who dislike each other are paired when now she has a ton of friends. Ryuko only pretends to hate her and actually doesn't. Aiza wants to show Ryuko a text where she tells everyone the reason she has been avoiding them all this while. She wants Ryuko to check this message for her as there is no better person for it than her. Eika thinks that Ryuko always knows how the other person is feeling and what the right thing to do is. Even the little things she says and the way she can pull things together is pretty great according to Eika. For this reason, she wants her to check the message even though she might hate her, which isn't actually the case. Ryuko tells her that the text is too long and she needs to make it precise and concise. In the text, Eika explains the reasons she has been avoiding everyone and says that she has a tendency to frankly say whatever comes into her mouth. Because of this habit, she has hurt a lot of her friends in the past. It's because of this that she is scared of talking to others, as she is scared that she might repeat the same thing all over again. She apologizes to everyone and Kamito. She tells her to hold on to it a bit longer. In the class, Eika asks Kamito what commoners do for fortune telling. Kamito tells her that commoners do it through their smartphones. Marriage negotiations. Even though this trend is almost gone as compared to the past, it is still there. Kimito thinks that just coming up and telling her that she is going to get married is too harsh, as her choice should also be considered. He tells the others that she doesn't want this marriage either by the way she looked at him. Masayami approaches the group and tries to give his email to him but fails when his mother comes. Kimito is confused about what just happened. Inside Kimito's room, everyone struggles to find something to do as Reiko was the one who made these decisions daily. At night, Eika tells Karen and Hakua that she is going to call Reiko today. Hakua fixes her phone so she can call her without any hassle. On the call, Reiko tells Eika that she needs to be like her mother and her ancestors and marry a respected family. The school was there just to groom and cultivate her for this point. Reiko tells her that even though they fought a lot, she enjoyed it a lot and would drop by the school when she gets the chance. Eika tells her that without her, nothing in the school feels right and she is against this marriage. Reiko starts crying after hearing this and tells her that she doesn't want to leave the school and her friends either, but she doesn't know what to do. Eika convinces her that they will manage something. She tells Kimito about this in the morning. They are thinking about making a direct plea against this marriage. He thinks the Masayami is also against this marriage because of his sister's complex, but he wasn't able to get his email address. Hakua then gives his email address to Kimito, and they learn that he also wants this engagement to break. They try to slip out of the school at night to go to the parking lot where Masayami is waiting in a car. Hyujo catches them but tells them that she doesn't have a problem if they are doing a club activity. They approach the car and make their way towards the Arisugawa residence. Karen tells them to keep going and leave the guards to her. She uses her special move and rips off all their clothes. The others encounter Takemiya on the way. Masayami battles with him and tells the others to keep going ahead. Once they are inside, they see a bunch of drones standing in the way, but Eika takes care of them by making them crash into each other. As they moved inside the place, gates started to come down from every angle to shut off areas. Just when they were about to be locked in a place, some muscular man held the door open for Hakua, who went inside the control room to reopen the whole place. They move further in and find a really big robot. The robot was about to trample them under his foot, but Karen comes in and saves them at the last second with a different outfit. She tells everyone that there is a room inside this castle where time moves slower than the outside world, allowing her to get stronger in a short amount of time. She uses the Karen-style final technique to take care of the big robot, but rips her clothes in the process. Kimito gives her his coat and moves further inside the castle. Hakua hacks some drones to quickly send Kimito to the room where the marriage negotiation is taking place. Hoko thanks him for coming all this way for her friend but tells him to leave as they are busy. Kimito tells Hoko that he is against this marriage because Reiko doesn't want it. Hoko replies that Reiko understands how important this engagement is. She is just being made to follow the family's rules and is getting engaged for the good of the family. Hoko says that Reiko is aware of all this, but she wants to put her duty and family first instead of her choice. Everyone tries to tell Hoko about their experiences with Reiko and the school in order to convince her, but she just tells the guards to take the guests away. Hearing this, Reiko tells Hoko that she is going to leave home. Hoko tells her that the moment she leaves the family, she won't be eligible to return back to the school, as only girls from prestigious families are allowed there. Kimito invites Reiko to his home away from all these rules and restrictions. He can't give her the life she has here, but he promises to convince his parents and do his best to make sure she is happy. Reiko accepts it and says farewell to her mother. The Kano family respects Reiko's decision and leaves the place. Hoko tells Kimito to always take care of her, thinking that he just proposed to her and plans to marry her. Kimito reflects on what he said and realizes that his words sounded like he wanted to marry her even though he had no intention of doing that. Hoko suggests they only get engaged for now as they are still young. He tells Hoko if she is sure about this, as he is a commoner. She despises Kimito but thinks that she would very much like him as her son-in-law. She will take him into the family just so she can torment him with everything she can muster. The other tried to object to this marriage, but Hoko says that it is already decided. Masayami starts to chase after him as he doesn't want this marriage to happen too. Kimito fears for his life and thinks that he is going to get killed over a sister complex. The scene then shifts to the school where Kimito is apologizing to Reiko as what he said was misleading. Reiko also apologizes to him for jumping to conclusions so fast and says that both she and her mother are embarrassed. Soon the others arrive in the room as well. Eika and Reiko start fighting with each other. Hakua takes off her pants and goes to write equations on the wall while Karen goes after her. That's all for today. How do you think the story of Shaman Sample proceeds from this point? Let us know in the comments down below. Do leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.